Season 2, Episode 1, Intro.
For now, let us relish within the Lotus.
Welcome everyone to Episode 1, the official Episode 1 of Season 2 of the Juggalo Rewind podcast, where we go back in time and take an album, go track by track.
Deep dive.
The deep dive into the Juggalo culture, one track at a time.
A lot of culture in this album.
There is something on this album. My name is Peter. I am here with Chris, as always. What is going on?
Oh, not too much. Just, gonna see a flower sprout here from sacred soil. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Like we said, this is episode 1 of season 2. We are talking Tales from the Lotus Pod this season by the supergroup Dark Lotus, which is ICP and Twisted. Twisted and ICP. Oh, and Blaze.
And Mars / ABK.
Yes.
And Vampiro.
And his dick. Well, that didn't take long. Anyways, we're here for episode 1. The song is Intro, and we got a couple things to tie up before.
The song, hold on, let me cut you off there. The song is Untitled, better known as Intro.
Are you done?
I want to get it straight. I want it to be correct.
Thank you. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your
what was that?
Attention to detail. Ooh.
Demon or something.
Okay. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all your socials. That's at Juggalo RWD. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple. You can, I was going to say watch, but listen to us on YouTube.
There's a fixed photo that sits there. You can watch that. A little graphic.
Ooh, you're going to have to change that for season 2.
Oh, yeah. I already got them set up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. I did because we already posted it for this episode.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're looking at it right now. Hell yeah, man. Good job. You can listen on any platform. Just throw that in your Google machine. Or you can go to juggalorewind.com and we'll have the little player up there. You can also email us at juggalorwd@gmail.com, or you can call us at 810-666-1570. Leave us a little voicemail. Or burp into the phone like Chris burps into the microphone.
Pizza. Calzone I had earlier.
I didn't want any, thanks. I had the worst piece of frozen lasagna ever for dinner tonight, and it was horrible. So, thanks for that. Is that all the socials? That's all the ways you can get to us, listen to us, talk to us, hear our voices, hear us roar. While we're talking about our socials, last year we had a little contest where you could win a fun prize ski. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, I think that bumped up our Instagram. I think just what we do in general kind of draws people to Instagram. Yeah. This year we're going to draw people to the Twitter. So if you don't already follow us, I want to hammer that home. That go to the if you will, at Juggalo RWD. Be sure to follow us, and we're going to have a little fun there throughout the season. So
yes.
I don't think we'll talk about that on this episode. We'll catch that up. Oh, you want to talk about it now? Should I do it now?
I will wait till next, because it's not really relevant here.
Relevant here? All right. Well, we'll talk about that next week, so stay tuned. Ooh. I don't know why Twitter's spooky. I'm sorry.
Everything's spooky when you're in the Lotus Pod.
I apologize. Is there anything else we want to talk about while we're here before we get into it, or pleasantries, if you will?
Yeah, we'll go to our first segment, new segment. Last week, if you tuned in, you
I was going to ask if this is the first thing in our notes. So, yep, you step ahead. I'll step back, you step forward.
Let me beer.
I'm done. I ain't got no beer, man.
I want a brewski, huh? And a boostki. Toss me a beer. Yeah.
Dog, we ain't got no fucking beer for it, Joe.
What? So? This is yes, man. Oh, a cold one.
Yo, all right, man. We ain't got no fucking beer in Florida, Joe. Stop it. Jesus.
So if you joined us last week, you partook in the drink along. Maybe you bought it because we posted on Instagram beforehand. But we pair a beer with each song, try to make it fit. So this one for Untitled intro, I went with Bell's right here in Comstock, Michigan. Expedition Stout, Russian Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels. So I went with the Expedition Stout because we are going to enter into a realm of unknown territory. We're going to go deep into Egypt, into the Gaza Strip. Not Gaza. Deep into Egypt.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Look at the pyramids. Find some ancient spells and rituals. So we're on an expedition. So if you want to join in, crack yours open right now. We're going to
glub, glub, glub.
pour that boy nice and thick. Thick like those demons you see in the seance mirrors. Yeah, there you go. Nice and ready. Got to make sure to also, when you got a stout, take it out of the fridge maybe 20 minutes before. You don't want it cold. You want it like right in the sweet spot, like cool, chilled slightly. So let's go on the journey into Egypt, ancient Egypt, Samaria, all those things, and find some creepy stuff.
Are you done? I'm once again drinking lukewarm water out of a Gatorade. I went upstairs and I'd never know the difference between the hot and the cold, so I got a big steaming steaming hot water in my bottle.
You should get some Lotus tea and dip it in there.
Maybe we'll do that next time. But yeah, I have nice lukewarm water, so hopefully everyone's enjoying that with me. If you don't want to enjoy the drink along, what beer are you drinking? What's it called again?
Bell's Expedition Stout.
I'll put that in our notes. I probably won't spell it right, but that's
It's a strong boy. 13.4.
You gonna be okay? You gonna be able to make it?
Yeah, we should get out of this one quick and easy.
Yeah, we won't spend an hour on intro. We've never done that before. All right, so let's just jump right into the episode. You want to jump into the notes?
Yep.
All right.
A little background.
This song, and we'll talk about this for every song. If you haven't followed us throughout the seasons, we go through track by track. We go through some of our notes here for each song, and then we'll get into the deep dive, if you will. The other fun thing about this CD, much like last season, there's going to be multiple producers. So this is all, I would say, speculatory, so don't hold us to anything ever, but definitely don't hold us to who the producers on these are.
Yeah, because there's no, if you open the booklet to Tales from the Lotus Pod, there is no information whatsoever. As that's why I keep making the reference to Untitled, because the tracks were never given.
No
it was all
names.
other than Black Magic. When that first came out, I believe that track had a name.
Now that's funny. I think it did, and then there's a couple other songs that made it to like an online, what do you call it? Like not an official sampler, but like what I would call an online tease.
Yeah.
But did they have names, or was it just like a 10-minute track with like a bunch of clips?
I thought it was all clipped together, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it had like real names.
I remember like marking it certain things that popped up thinking it sounded cool. But Black Magic was released on, we'll get to it in that episode, but it was released online and
with a name.
Yeah, promoted.
So we think that this song, Intro, was produced by Mike P.
First appearance of Mike P in the Juggalo world would be this beat.
This came out in July of 2001. He wasn't on any of Bizarre Bazaar.
I don't believe so. Well, we'd have to verify. This is the Bizarre Bazaar season, so we don't know.
Yeah, don't hold us to things that we don't understand. Time on this track is 1 minute and 21 seconds. Also, to just backtrack, if someone really wants to nitpick and be an asshole out there, between the two versions, oh man, we're jumping all over the place. Between the two versions of this album, the time is a little off.
Yeah.
Now, some of them are obvious why, but some of them are like a second off. So I'm just grabbing what I grabbed. So don't.
Yeah, if they're a couple seconds off, I think that's all the same.
Oh, it's 1 minute and 20 on the original, but 121 on the reissue.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
As we said in season 1, if you get us a Patreon and make us quit our regular jobs, we'll overlay both tracks, run them through. We'll do all the homework and notes to figure out what exactly is different.
Yeah, I would do a shitload more work.
He'd do the seance for you.
If everyone wants to pay me $1, I'll do the spooky red lights right now. I'll do the seance right now if everyone pays me $1. But so we think the track time is 1:21. Track number 1, obviously, on episode 1. I probably don't have to say that every week.
Yeah,
we had
that
to
was
last
a rollover for most tasteless, but
yeah. No real notes, nothing else that this was ever found on. Samples.
This is a goodie, which I did not know until we did this little dig.
This is going to be interesting throughout the year because there's so many like backwards bullshit and stuff in the background. So like it doesn't always get caught. But this sample, do you want to discuss what? I can't even really hear it. You really have to have like the headphones. You know, it's hard to hear.
It's just like the intro in general. It's the speed is way down. And it's all muffled. And I feel like Mike P, kind of as you go on to the 6, I feel like he does that a lot where there's stuff pulled in and you can't really tell what it is, what the sound is. But it is Peter and Raymond, which I know from the Drew and Mike show. We discussed a little bit in season 1
God,
locally.
Another season of Drew and Mike.
they would play these, and it was an old gay couple, right? They would argue all the time, and the guy next door, it was in an apartment complex.
Recorded them.
Yeah, the walls were so thin, he would record their arguments. And they were like 70s or something, I think, right?
Yeah, I recall them being old, and was one of them like way bigger than the other? Like they'd always like physically fight? Not like in a real, like, oh God, talk about a different time, because this was 30 years ago, right? Like nowadays, maybe you'd call that like physically abusive, but was it really like, I apologize. This is already an apology for the season. I'm not saying that any kind of verbal or the threatening or whatever isn't abuse.
Right.
From what I recall, it was a lot of like throwing things and breaking things, but not like punching and hitting each other, right? It was just
like you said, there was a big one and a small one, and the big one would just sit there and take it, right? And he would just be like, "Oh, you're an asshole," like just blow it off, and the little one would run around yelling, like breaking stuff.
I think so.
And so this one was called Crucifixion at Dinner, and I'm a hero. Shut up, little man. That's the part I always remember him going, "Shut up, little man."
Yeah, that was always like the drop.
Yeah.
Shut up, little man! Shut up, little man! I got a decent dinner ready. Nothing happened with the dinner because you crucified it. You ruined it. God damn you! Don't go to bed. Don't go to bed. Don't call me a dumb son of a bitch, you bastard. I want to know where my wallet is and where my keys are. And you better get me a new set of keys. You say you won't, you better. Shut up, you little dirty man. It doesn't matter what you owe, you do owe, because I am an owner of this place also. I don't know you. And you don't, you see, you have drunk the vodka, and you have drunk the wine.
And you can, so there's 2 drops in this, right? I mean, we'll get to it when we talk about
I think
the
those are
lyrics,
2 separate ones.
But I don't know, they're real hard to hear, and I never would have picked up on it.
No, it's super muffled, and it's a lot of the stuff. Whoever this is on Genius, we'll go back to.
Is it our boy Mustard Man?
Yes, Mushy Mustard Transcriber.
He's the man.
Yeah.
If you go, I don't know the name of it. I think it's, if you listen to other Juggalo podcasts, I think it's the ICP with We. They have their own Discord, and Mustard Boy is on there.
Oh, it's the guy from there. Okay.
Oh yeah. Like he's a cool dude, and I asked him if he did this. I'm sorry, I should back up. He goes through every Psychopathic song on Genius and fixes the lyrics.
Okay.
think he went through all of ICP. I don't think he's gone any further. I asked
He
him
didn't
if
get the most tasteless as we went through that because there was
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. We were looking at that.
There's a couple I've already noticed on Lotus that are slightly wrong, but you could be just,
Some of it's hard to tell, like you said.
Oh, no,
to pick
God,
this
no.
out, man.
No, I'm not knocking like some
Well,
of the
for sure.
fucking seance bullshit that they say, but like, he does a really good job. I don't think he's gotten to Lotus yet, but if you see his accreditation or whatever you call it on Genius, he did a good job. Shout out to Genius and not to A to Z Lyrics where all the other.
Those are so off the wall,
Oh man, I saw one, I think for Alibaba, just like in Googling, seeing it, in that little 2-sentence strip, and I'm like, holy shit, that's gotta be, I should have looked at it.
Yeah, we
just
got to
how
pull that
bad
up
it
next
was.
episode because that's a funny thing is seeing how bad some of those are.
And the bad lyric written belongs to. So, are we finished with Raymond and Peter, or do we need more about them?
I feel like you'll be yelling that at me by the end of the season. Shut up, little man, as I rant about stupid shit.
So yeah, that's in the background here. It's kind of hard to hear, but maybe if you're listening on the headphones or you have it loud enough. But when I was listening to it on the drive over here today, I couldn't really pick it up.
I picked it out because I was, keying in and looking for that, but there's no way I would it just sounds like this weird, creepy, demonic voice, when you hear it in the intro. It's like,
Were you listening to it in the dark
no.
with a full length mirror?
I will. That's what I'll do. I'll at least listen to this album in the dark. I'll give it that much. I ain't doing the seance, but I'll listen to Tales from the Lotus Pod front to back, good headphones in the dark. See if I get any vibes.
You gonna do that while you're working from home, or are you gonna do it on your own time?
On my own time. I'm working from home during the day. I'll listen to it at night.
Piece of shit working at home. You'll be making fun of me soon enough.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, that's beside the point. We don't want to talk about that. Each episode, I think we're going to talk about who is on each track because not every track has the same people on it. This song has no members of Dark Lotus on it. It's strictly an intro with a deep, spooky voice and some spooky music in the background.
But there's a little bit of uplifting music.
Yeah, there are.
Oh, sorry.
You're
Jumping
right.
ahead.
I wanted to say that. I didn't know how to say it, but you're right. The music goes with the birds and the whatever.
It's a nice little prelude to the sixth. They both kind of have the vibes of Shake Von Hell's Pit right in the intro.
Literally like what the... Yeah, you fucking asshole. That's what it's about.
Buried it.
All right, then. We're on to next season.
I know. I just never picked it up. They both kind of have the sound of it.
I don't think I ever did either until I actually read the lyrics. Like, again, if you're new to listening to us, we've listened to this how many times in our lives?
Oh, yeah.
Like, dozens, hundreds, right?
Yeah, hundreds for sure.
But reading the lyrics and talking an hour about each song, about stupid shit.
Try to pick apart why they did these things and what.
We really do pick up on stuff that like, wow, I knew that, I sang it, but like I didn't really think about it. So you're right. Maybe you just always skip over the intro, but yeah, this is definitely like listening to it and reading the lyrics. It's a clear like a roadmap for what ICP is about to do. You mix your beers when you're not mixing, but you take a sip of one and then a sip of the other.
Well, I was saving this so I had to take the photo still, so I didn't want to drink it down too low.
Sorry, I didn't understand what you were.
Kayfabe, brother. I'm drinking along with everybody.
I just didn't understand. I thought that's kind of weird.
No, I was just finishing that one.
All right. Chris has his side beer and his real beer, his Lotus beer.
I have to pause and take a photo. I forgot to do that.
When we get to a part where I'm talking about nonsense, you can go do that if you need to. So we have heard the speculation, and Chris thinks this is accurate. I'm not 100%. That we think that the voice behind this track is Stefan, a.k.a. Sirius Darius, who you know from JCW videos.
Yeah,
right?
Smoking the pipe.
So good. What a great character. I don't know what he did for the company. Just at that time, I think all their boys just did everything, whether it's
right
tour managers.
They're small enough still that they're all each taking different roles and running with it.
Yeah. I don't know if he does any other voices in this era.
That's what I was surprised, because his voice I never noticed anywhere else, but we sat down with a vinyl and sped it up, and it got to a point where I could hear it. I could hear his voice in there.
You have a beginning and you have an ending. As each cycle occurs, The souls living are forced to make a decision.
I think it is him. It's definitely not. I thought it was maybe Jump Steady at first, but there was no pitch we got it to make it sound like Jump Steady.
I thought it was Bobby Shields.
It did sound like Bobby Shields.
I don't think it was, but it could have been. It sounded just
if it was
like
anyone
him.
else. But I think it is Sirius Darius himself.
Well, that's to be speculated about and never to be known. But
I'm gonna say I'm 90% sure that's him.
if Jiggle says it so, it's so. He did all the research. And
He does have a very stoic voice for this. He almost sounds like a preacher, you know? He's very calming, that voice. So maybe that's why they picked him instead of like Legs Diamond or someone like that.
Yeah. Was he in...
Dark Lotus?
Does Legs Diamond have the Lotus tattoo?
By the end of the season, I need to make a graphic of everyone who may or may not be a member of Lotus.
You're just going to have like the misfits in there. Just like random ass people. Surprised Raven doesn't have Dark Lotus tattoo.
This is a Deadpool, an offshoot of the Lotus.
I think it is. What? I'm going in a different direction now. I don't remember. Sirius Darius. Oh, he wasn't part of like the Brotherhood of Justice, was he? Like early ICP wrestling? He was Alex, Jump Steady, and I can't remember. I don't know. But again, they all had different gimmicks, and I think he was right in that era too.
Yeah, he was one of the OGs for sure.
So we think this is him. If you know any different, email us or call us and let us know. Or tweet us.
Yeah, anything.
Stitch our TikTok.
How do you stitch somebody?
I have no idea. I don't know how any of that works. That's why we need your brother to do it for us. So we're just going to jump right into the song?
Yeah.
AKA the whatever.
Break down the lyrics here.
Break down the lyrics. This is the famous lyric deep dive. Here's the jingle. We don't have a jingle. We just say we're going to dive into the lyrics.
We need something to kick off each segment, I think.
We do. Diving into the lyrics, which is a little different when it's an intro, but I don't know. We don't want to like read the whole thing, do we? I guess we could, but
we'll go through it. That's what we usually do, right? And pick out anything that makes sense. This one doesn't have anything too funny or anything like that we hit on.
Definitely not funny. It's just there goes Lloyd the dog. It just talks about I guess it. How do you say it? It's the notion of everything having a beginning and an end, a good and a bad, like two sides to every coin kind of thing. Talking about that there's two choices, I guess you would say, for the afterlife. Like ones who believe in what they say, the eternal bliss, or you can follow the side of the hedonism and the eternal damnation, which leads into what is coming. You know, the CD dropped in 2001, and so soon thereafter, ICP brings out the Wraith, which is two sides, like the good and the bad.
And Wraith dropped November 2002?
2001.
So it was right after this, yeah.
So they knew what was coming. And I'm sure we'll talk about this in every episode. We didn't mention it last week, but the era of this. Like, we went through the Juggalo era, but we didn't really talk about, like, what it was like to be in it.
Right.
Like, this is... People will say, oh, you fucking boomer Juggalos, you don't know what you're talking about. But to be a fan at this time was fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, the music was on point. They were promising things. Like, it was just, it's a culmination of everything. Like, it was the time to be a fan.
No, for sure. To me, this is the golden, like, right when this drops, right up until Hell's Pit.
Oh.
The time of this and, like, the 6th, though, are fucking awesome. Like, this, like I said, this being a good lead into it, and that, we'll get into it if we ever do a Wraith season. But, like, the seminar during that gathering was so cool. Like, so hyped watching that. I'd watched that a few months back, beginning of the pandemic, I think. Years back now.
Oh.
But, yeah, man, that was a time for sure. And when this came out, being super fired up to go pick this up.
Yeah, I mean, this was almost as anticipated as the 6th. I mean, it's got to be right up there, right? Not just for the time that it took, but all of your favorites in the psychopathic,
Yeah,
all coming together. Like, it was a very sought after kind of big deal.
yeah, I was definitely fired up for this, and that little preview we discussed in the episode 0, fired up hearing that, and then when you get the album and throw it on and get this little intro, it got me fired up, got me goosebumps when he gets to the end there, for sure.
Do you remember... Okay, so why didn't we talk... Well, the last episode we didn't talk about it because we went over. We both went to this gathering.
Right.
You specifically picked this CD up at the gathering?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that it was you, Sanchez, and...
Steve.
Oh, 2001
Yeah.
and 2002?
Yeah, the three of us were at both of them.
Do you remember listening to it for the first time? Like,
riding back to the hotel. I totally remember listening to it.
That's great.
And marking out hard at parts.
We did the same thing. I remember being in a car with Bob, his friend Matt, and his girlfriend Steph. We definitely listened. If not to the whole CD, I definitely remember one or two songs we listened to specifically. I think that we skipped around for. Because we weren't driving. We were just sitting in the car.
Yeah, because your hotel was like right there, right?
No. The hotel that was right there was where Bob picked up Misery. No, we were a little ways away, but I get
them blended together too, but maybe it's Peoria was the one that was like a little further off where he had to get on the freeway for a bit and get off. But I do remember like being in the car, going back to the hotel, or maybe driving around a little bit to try to get more of it in, listening to it.
Yeah, that was quite the time. It was, and that had to be early. That was
the first day, right? Because you go straight to the merch.
It had to be,
and they had it there waiting for you.
I was just thinking, and again, someone can correct us. We probably should have looked into this. Lotus headlined the first night, and ICP headlined the second night. They didn't do
so. I was going back and looking some of this up, and I was watching the 2001 set by Dark Lotus on YouTube, bits, pieces, and then I don't know where I stumbled on. They talked about how ICP set was cut short, like a song or two in. Oh, it was on the their Patreon where they talked about the gathering.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, man, I do not remember their set ending, like
being that short.
Yeah, but I'm like, was it just because the Lotus one was so cool? Like, is that blinded me that shit, I didn't even like see ICP there?
All I remember is Greg the Hammer Valentine being drunk,
sleeping at his table.
No, in the crowd, like during the show.
Oh, really? Maybe I did see that too. Now that you say that,
I feel like I was standing like kind of by him, and he was like nodding out while he was standing there.
So I will get to it on that song. Never mind. I gotta remember. I think it's the next song, so I'll try to remember this. But pause here as we look up the gathering lineup.
All right, so after some research there, we've amended our ways because I get this wrong every single time. So the Toledo gathering was 3 days. I always think it was 2, but it was 3.
Yeah, the 2 I went to were 3 dayers.
So Dark Lotus headlined night 2, ICP headlined night 3.
Right.
Where are we going with that? I don't even remember.
We were just discussing, picking up the CD, and then you thought that Lotus headlined the first night, so there was some anticipation and build. You didn't just get them that first night, which makes sense.
You know that multiple people probably listened to that CD a million times and were familiar enough with it by the next day to see it live.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I guess that was my question. Like, did you see it live before you had the CD?
No, we had the CD that first day, so we had at least a day of bumping it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we actually got in, because a lot of... Thinking back, though, I'm like, what really did I do at the gathering? I went to, like, the autograph signings, wandered around, JCW, concerts. Like, I didn't do any of the goofy shit they had going on, like Miss Juggalettes and...
goofy shit.
Scavenger hunt, we didn't do that.
Spoken like a true boomer juggalo that just goes for the music and doesn't want to have fun.
We had fun at the hotel, drinking beers, listening to Dark Lotus.
Had fun hiding Misery from getting killed. Oh, good old days. So yeah, that was...
seminars. There we go. I remember going to the seminars, too.
I think I went to the Sabu seminar that year.
We did. It's a scary story. Sanchez wanted to kill us.
Why?
He went swimming. And we I don't know. I don't know why we didn't go to the pool. Like, hey, we got to go. We just left. We came back and he was scary. More scary than the seance in this book.
Yeah, I'd rather meet the demon ghoul in the mirror than meet the fucking roided up Sanchez trying to beat your ass. Not that he's roided up, just he was a big dude. Still is, probably.
Yeah, I seen him a handful of years ago, but still a good guy.
Oh, yeah. We should get him on here.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be the perfect season.
What if he
actually.
listens?
There's no way. Send it to him. See if he listens to us.
He's a busy guy. I remember he's got crazy jobs, working all sorts of hours.
Yeah, between me and a comic book drawer and working in the fucking salt mines in Detroit.
Didn't he draw for Dirk Manning?
He drew... What was the name of that comic?
The one with the... we're way off topic here, by the way.
no,
It's all about going on a tangent. The intro lyrics here. It was the wrestler one, the luchador one.
I keep wanting to say Bandito, but it wasn't. It was...
I can't remember.
Fuck, what was that called? I don't remember. This is bad.
But nonetheless.
Nonetheless, he's was our friend many years ago and still would be if we ran into him, and he's too famous for us. So.
No, we just having a cross paths. Maybe this will help get everyone back together one time. We'll have a reunion gathering of all the old homies.
Oh, that's never going to happen on my end of things. No.
Anyways.
Right. Anywho, where were we?
We were discussing the vibes the intro gave, and then, so we were just discussing, this is all the lead up to the Big Six.
Oh, yes, because that year they had the, seminar about releasing the sixth. At that seminar, this is a really dumb question. Everyone probably knows except for me. Because I don't even know if I was at that seminar.
The sixth seminar?
I had to have been, right? I just kind of don't remember it. Did they say that there were going to be two versions of it?
I think so, yeah.
It wasn't just...
Yeah, because they said a year later, we're going to show you...
Hell's Pit.
Yeah. Say they pull out the big billboard. And Twisted's holding them up. They have these big cardboard pictures. And
poor sons of bitches.
Yeah, and then he's like, and don't worry, we're going to bring you all the wicked shit. We saved all the fucking most crazy shit ever for this album. Yeah. Anyways.
All right, well, that's the vibe that this CD gave to everyone, and like we said, it was a crazy time.
Yeah.
For being a fan. Jesus, we got all that. We only got halfway through the intro. Jesus. And then it goes into the next part. So the first part of the intro talks about the two sides of the coin, right? Like the light and the dark, the good and the bad, and then it talks about the lotus flower, which I'm sure Chris wrote a million notes on, and I'm going to make him read and mispronounce all of this. But the idea of the lotus flower is that it can grow from anywhere, kind of? Is that what we're insinuating? That it's a simple flower and it no, I'm just reading the fucking thing.
No, it emerged from sacred soil, so it's not going to grow from anywhere. It's just, it's a very symbolic flower throughout ancient cultures, and that's why they pulled it out, I believe.
Do you want to tell us about that while I plug in my computer so that I don't lose power on my notes?
So, just a little horticultural history here.
You didn't just say horticultural history. Jesus, I don't even step away for 2 seconds and you're talking horticulture.
The lotus flower, it says, under favorable circumstances, the seeds of the aquatic perennial may remain visible for many years, with the oldest recorded lotus germination being from seeds 1,300 years old, recovered from the dry lake bed in northeastern China.
Why are you pointing at me when you said that? You're like you're teaching a fucking class.
I'm teaching you about the Church of Lotus.
The Church of Zool?
Now, there's a guys who should be members. So yeah, the lotus flower, 1,300 years old. Some seeds they found, they still grow. So throughout culture, it's a very symbolic thing. I have Hindus have it for, I'm not going to try to pronounce.
That's great, thank you.
Not to try to pronounce their divinities here, but they're usually portrayed on a pink lotus. The lotus is a symbol of divine or immortal inhumanity, symbolizing divine perfection. Buddhism uses them as well. Buddha compares himself to a lotus, saying the lotus flower raises from muddy water. There's a little reference for a future Dark Lotus album.
The blood, the air, the moon,
Yeah.
and the skies. Whatever the fuck that one is.
In Buddhism, lotus represents purity of the body, speech, and mind, as if floating above murky waters. Some other religions also
I
use it.
love that you just skipped that one. I was waiting.
I don't know what Jainism and Menchiism? They just use it as thrones for their deities. Christianity also, when they decide to show up in India, they use a lot of lotuses. We'll also put our apostles on lotus flowers.
I do feel like you see the outline of a lotus in a lot of different, what do you call it?
Across all the...
Yeah.
And this maybe more so than all of them, which is a reference here that we should call upon, because it's ancient Egypt here. Ancient Egypt myth of creation. Before life, the whole world was nothing but a wide, dismal sea until the luminous lotus flower came out of the water, bringing light and perfume to the world. And I think that's kind of what they're saying here with their intro, untitled/intro. According to the Book of Dead, also Egyptian texts paid tribute to those that had passed. The black lotus symbolized death as a spell to transform the dead into lotus flowers, which happens on this album to a man we know as Blaze.
I guess, yeah, we'll dig into that episode.
So yeah, lotus in general, divine, spiritual, higher symbol, but there's also a black lotus. The black lotus flower symbolizes darkness, death, power, authority, rebellion. In Hinduism, the black lotus represents absence of color and light. To the ancient Romans, I kind of cut off there. White and black lotus flowers symbolize past, present, future, life, death, and rebirth. So there's all your iconography with the lotus flower throughout a little crash course on religion.
Crash course on the fucking lotus flower. So that's why they call it the band Dark Lotus, because it's I don't know why.
Well, as I said, the ancient Egypts, use it as a way to speak to the dead, which is seems like where Lotus is going here.
It's very spooky.
I like this line: "Those who believe in the gospel of the Dark Carnival."
God damn. Yeah.
They go full blown like this is a straight up religion.
This can't be the first time they mention the Dark Carnival.
No,
right?
but to say that the gospel of the Dark Carnival is kind of funny.
Those who believe in the gospel of the Dark Carnival recognize this as our last warning. The very next message brought before us will be the almighty 6 Jokers card.
This is the last warning. I mean, again, we talked about that. The very next message. Next message. God damn,
I tell you what, when he drops
that
line though, I had goosebumps. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. I feel the earth shaking below.
Yeah, this is definitely in the era of ICP saying that they are like the conduit between the Dark Carnival and you, and they're giving you their messages. And
I was all down.
This is the last one before the mighty 6th. I don't know how much more we can talk about the fucking intro. I don't know how much more I have in me.
I think we touched upon everything and gave a little feeling of that time when this dropped.
Yeah, no, that's the real important thing about this whole CD. I think is the feeling of the fan base and the era in general.
Oh yeah, the energy was permeating through Toledo, Ohio that weekend when this album dropped.
I don't know offhand if they ever played it live. Did they use it as an intro to their live set? So
when the footage I watched from Toledo, I think just cuts it's abruptly like the beginning of a song. So I don't think I'd have to go back and look. But you imagine they played that at least on that first show.
You would think so.
Yeah, and then we didn't discuss that. The Hatchet Rising was the first tour.
Oh, yeah, we didn't mention that last week. Pretty soon thereafter, that tour kicked. That had to be September or October.
Yeah, I seen it in Grand Rapids.
You saw the Hatchet Rising tour?
Yeah.
You didn't go to Halloween, or did you go to Halloween?
I went to both, I believe. But I seen the Hatchet Rising It was weird because it was in like a venue that It's like a little stadium, like
Like
college size. But like they didn't play in the stadium; they played in the concourse. They put a stage in the concourse.
I can't. I know. I think you've told me that, but I can't believe
it was so weird because there was like poles in the middle of like the crowd, and Too Tough Tony jumped on us because we were in the crowd throwing up the lynch mob to him. He spotted it and was like so excited and stage dived right on top of us.
I mean, that had to be at like Wing Stadium or Van Andel or one of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and like dig up the tour dates, and like I have some photos from that too. I have the T-shirt still. Pull that out.
It's a pretty cool shirt. And for that tour, Lotus headlined.
Yeah.
But then for Halloween, Lotus opened.
Okay. I
'Cause
can't remember.
Because I remember being up front, which I usually am not, because I'm like, oh, we're going to be here for Blaze. Like, that's cool. And then I'll make my way back. And Lotus hit, and that place fucking exploded. It went banana.
That's awesome.
Like, that was one of those where my feet literally weren't touching the ground.
Oh, those were fun times.
No, this is not
Those are scary.
This is not where I want to be right now. I just wanted to see Blaze.
I've never seen you up close and personal during an ICP set. That's something. We need to get you down there.
We need to. Well, I did it for, not in our era. I mean, I did it for that, for Lotus, unwillingly. We did it for ICP at the at the Token.
That was the count. They weren't throwing Fago.
I did it for the Carnival of Carnage show.
That doesn't count either. They weren't throwing Fago.
It didn't count because you weren't there.
I should have tried sneaking in.
Oh, it was an awesome show.
Bastards.
But yeah, no, I'm not a get up front kind of guy.
Yeah.
Passed. Can't do it anymore. I'm an old ass man.
Right up front now for a Juggalo show, no, but I like to get at least somewhere in the mix. I like to mix it up a little bit. I like to get a little Fago thrown on me.
I can't do it. It's not my style. All right. That was that. There's no real history, like we said, to a live track. There's no historical lines or, like nothing here that's memorable or that people re-mention. Maybe Let Us Relish Within the Lotus. Maybe it's just because I feel like that leads right into the next track.
Yeah.
But it's not like people... It's not like people are... fuck. Back to the episode after my computer was making a horrible noise that we had to turn off.
Spooky.
Yeah, what's going on? That is a good call. I wasn't expecting that to happen.
There's a witch trapped in your laptop.
I can't even say it. I still don't believe in that shit. That happened. Sometimes my computer makes noise.
Okay.
That was not because of any spiritual beings.
We'll find out when you do the seance at the end of the season and what pokes you in the eye.
It's not.
A little fucking finger comes out of that mirror.
Open the gate.
No, don't open it. He's supposed to close it.
Oh, it's closed.
Don't open it. You let them all in.
I thought it was open the gate.
You gotta call Bruce Campbell over here and start fucking killing them all.
Yeah, what are
Open the gates.
Oh, fuck. All right. I don't know where we were going.
We're discussing cultural Juggalo culture significance. Nothing really. A nice little preview to the Six Jokers card. That's there. That's something.
That alone, yes. It's not on its own. There's no significance, but the fact that it brings up, like you said, if you were just listening to this for the first time and you're like, holy shit, I'm excited for this CD, and they're already hyping another CD.
And you're hyped already at that point because it's been building for years, so you don't know the name of it, you don't know anything about it, and they just drop that, so.
That's cool.
That was a pop moment.
Very exciting. It's very spooky and evil. Now the heat's kicking on and we're not going to be able to hear. All right, we better end this episode before anything else.
More spooky shit happens.
Yeah, before the floor keeps creaking. Like we said earlier, don't forget to follow us on all social medias: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Just search on Juggalo Rewind or Juggalo RWD. If you go to our website, juggalorewind.com, you can see all of our fun stuff, listen to our episodes. We have our little Spotify playlist over on the right side.
Yeah, we got a couple of little playlists for you to check out, curated by us,
maybe
Juggalo historians.
Maybe we need a spooky one.
We do.
Do we?
Okay, there's spooky, like Halloween spooky. That's one thing. But this has got to be, how would we describe this one?
Like an occult spooky?
Like,
a ghostly spooky?
Yeah, ancient Egypt, stuff like that, ancient aliens.
Of just psychopathic, or are you just talking in general?
I don't know. We don't know yet. We're brainstorming more playlists for you.
Yeah, we just want reasons to make playlists.
The two Juggalo theme ones we have right now are pretty interesting, I think. The house party one.
That's a good one.
And then, what was the other one? You had the twisted final songs.
Yeah, but I thought you made another one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Who knows? Just go to Spotify, like all of our other places you can listen to this, and we'll have a little playlist if you follow us.
Right. And you might have already mentioned this. I got sidetracked. But we do a playlist of the season. So any songs we discuss, obviously the Dark Lotus ones, but any songs that might get brought up. Samples, which there probably isn't many on this, but samples or other songs that we have stories tied to. We'll drop them in the playlist.
This will be a tough one because we don't... half the CD isn't... Or, I'm sorry, half the CD. One of the CDs isn't on.
Right.
So we'll talk about
Maybe
that.
we'll just drop some Marsh tracks if he has a Spotify on there.
Does he? I don't know if he's on Spotify.
Maybe his diss on Jay's on there.
Oh.
We'll get to that later.
We'll leave that till the end of the season. And then if you want to email us, it's juggalorwd@gmail.com, or you can call us at 810-666-1570 and leave us a voicemail. Tell us if you've encountered the occult while listening to the black magic in the dark, or if you're drinking beer with Chris.
Or if you were at the Gathering 2001 with us, your memories of that first time bumping the CD in, seeing them live.
Tell us if you stormed the stage during ICP 7.
You're the ones that didn't get to see the set because of you bastards.
Did you tear off part of the fucking wheel? I always hated when people did that, but I swear there was one of them where I was up on stage during...
Oh, I was on stage, but it was at the end. Like, it was definitely the closing track, you knew. I was standing on the little spinning thing with Violent J. He was like standing next to me rapping, and I was holding on to the same little spinny gimmick thing. I remember looking down at me like, "Who the fuck are you?" Good times.
I don't remember. They all blend together. We're old ass men.
This was that era. This was Bazaar, into the 6th. It was just 3-4 years of magic.
Yes.
Not black magic, but just magic.
Yes. Very diamond rain, if you will.
Yes.
All right, we don't know how to end episodes. That's our problem. So we're going to cut this off right now. Thank you for listening. And then next week, join us for episode 2.
Untitled.
We'll leave it at that. You got to tune in to hear what episode is number 2. So next week, we'll catch you. Thank you. All music played in this episode and in this entire season is owned by the respective publishers and copyright holders and is reproduced for review purposes only under fair use.